What's going on, guys? Welcome to an early May 4th Star Wars action figure video. Today we're going to be taking a look at Hasbro's The Vintage Collection. Some of the action figures, mainly on this side, are like that vintage collection, with them being like more expensive, you could say, than other things. And the other type is the Star Wars Epic Series action figures, with that being this Mandalorian, the Yoda and Darth Vader, the Dark Trooper up there, as well as. Actually, that's it, except for this Baby Yoda. That Grogu came in some sort of other Hasbro thing, because Hasbro seems to be the main license holder for Star Wars action figures, but let's get into it and waste no more time. See, as I was saying, Hasbro seems to be the main license holder, so they made these 4-inch action figures, which, as you should know by now, and if you have not seen, it will probably be out later then. If it isn't out already, I'm going to start making more not Hasbro, Jazzwares, or it might have been Jax. No, Jazzwares 4-inch figures, yeah. Not Jax. Jax is Mario. 4-inch figure videos. This is what I used to collect. So yeah, starting off here, we have the Mandalorian. This is from that like Epic series thing. These were $10. They're a lot cheaper. All of these figures, well, all of these four were a lot cheaper than these ones. That alone was like $30, but I found them on sale for like $8. And then this was maybe like 40, because the figures alone are like 20 or something. They have a Darth Maul one that's 18, the same price as the Lego Darth Maul mech. But then if you want extra accessories and things, they're expensive. I ended up finding him at a bargain store for like $6, and I found him on sale actually at Target, because that like knockoff smaller scale Black Series figures normally go on sale after a while because of how expensive they are. So starting off with the Mandalorian, he has some good detailing. He's got his Beskar armor. He has this like half cape, which I do really like. His helmet detail is really nice. And then for accessories, he came with a Darksaber, and then he also had one of his blasters. I think it was like a D11 blaster or something. I don't exactly remember. But that was all he came with. He had limited articulation, because this is the original Mandalorian figure, not the new one. With those have improved articulation, which I'll showcase in a minute. But yeah, this was the original, and I've had him for a while now. This Baby Yoda, though, came in a different Star Wars Hasbro series thing. It was like small scale thing, so like this connected to a bike that connected to a small micro Mandalorian that like hopped on it. So yeah, I just kind of have it here with that, because I don't have many of the pieces to that anymore to have that little thing. However, they have the new updated versions, like they had a Darth Vader like that Mandalorian, but these new ones have added articulation. So let's waste no time and get on to these. These figures are called like the Force Awakens figures or something, even though I believe that is a movie. And the main aspect now is like their lightsabers are fully charged with power, and then the Dark Trooper's laser is like completely red. We'll show that in a minute. Anyways, Darth Vader came with a giant removable cape accessory, and then it gives you a look at his arm articulation, his head articulation. No wrist. He does have leg, no waist. He has knee, but yeah, again, like no ankle, nothing like that. Good figure. His lightsaber is like I said, it's pulsating with the Force power. So it was a good line of figures. I think it actually came out around Star Wars Day last year. Now take a look at his face. Sadly, he does not have red eyes. They didn't paint anything, but the actual paint details, like they needed to have, like his little sensors and stuff, they did a really good job with. And I'm very content with how this came out. As for Yoda, since he is half the size of Vader, if not even, probably a quarter of the size of Vader, a third of the size of Vader, he still had articulation, a very weird articulation, but still something nonetheless, as well as a movable head. And then his lightsaber was a lot smaller, kind of looked like a dagger, compared to Vader's, but it was still nice. He came with this, like, force electricity, accessory, which he can barely hold, which was a little disappointing. But if you can get it to hold it, I mean, he can't even hold his lightsaber. But if you can get him to hold it, it's really cool. He kind of looks like a sidekick for like Fortnite, and I'll show that off in my 7 video. But he also came with this like green TIE Fighter accessory, where he can just kind of like chill in there, because like that, I guess, is equal to one figure. But it's okay, they're still cool. And then the last figure here was the Dark Trooper. That you can see that's his gun. It's shooting something. Good detail on the head and stuff. Same articulation as Darth Vader, but overall, like I said, I really like this figure too. I really like the line in general. They did a good job with this, especially since each of these figures were $10 if you can still find them, and there were more. As well as like extra double packs, and I think there's a 5-pack at some point. But now let's take a look at their high-end figures. Starting off from the Book of Boba Fett, this was the Tusken Raider that came with the little staff, the Gaffy staff, I believe it is. And I mean, he's a good figure. Like I said, I found him for, I think it was like $12. I can take his head off. I think you can probably take that shawl off or whatever it is. He has arm articulation, wrist articulation. He has it all. Waist. And then his actual thing here is like made of an actual type of clothy material, which is nice, instead of plastic. But this alone, like I said, is $18, sometimes even $25, depending upon the character, which is sad to see. But he is like 4-inch scale. And then he also came with this dog. I don't know the name of it, but he has jaw articulation, which is pretty cool. Neck articulation, and then legs. That's all that really came with this. Like I said, though, I found it on sale. As for the other one, I found this at a bargain store. It came with a flame trooper from The Mandalorian. So he has the pauldron. He has, basically, you can see all the great details and articulation that the Tusken Raider had. And then he also had this giant backpack that connects to his gun, which shoots a giant flame accessory. You can pull it off if you do want to. I can try to hold it. Oh, there, yeah, you can pull it off if you want to, but I do like it on. It is from that scene, I think it was in the show, I haven't seen it in a while, where he tries shooting down Baby Yoda, but Baby Yoda uses the Force. Here's a little Baby Yoda figure. You can see he's closing his eyes using the Force. Much different compared to the old one. He's a lot smaller, but like I said, this is their more detailed line. They both do have little feetsies. But the other one was like had that little ball that he stole from Mando's ship, while this one has the Force abilities. And then you can pop off the head and swivel it around. It's a great figure, though. And then I also had this flame accessory, so you can have Baby Yoda either here, blocking the Force, or using the Force, or I guess here. I don't remember which one, though. And then there was another smaller flame with this. You can just kind of have them around. So overall, they were cool figures. I mean, everything that they made was cool. They, like I said, are the big license holder of Star Wars action figures, it seems. So it is a little disappointing at times. Like, I'm just going to put him away with that accessory, because I have this little safe space that I just hold small accessories, broken accessories, other small things. But yeah, well, some things can be disappointing at times. Overall, I've been really content with this Hasbro action figures and stuff. So if you want to see me review more, I probably won't. But if you do want to see that, consider liking and subscribing, and just letting me know, and we might see that in the future. Alright guys, see ya, and thank you for tuning in.